let's speak about the only play on a publicly traded space company. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor and I got the clothing line to prove it. And today we are speaking about the very juicy, very exciting Virgin Galactic stock. These guys haven't been getting spoken about too much in general as of late because there hasn't been that much excitement around. On the monthly chart, we had made lows of over 17%. In the last 2 trading days, we have gone up over 10% off of the back of a few little pieces of news. But if you go back to our recent peaks from the 22nd of July, not a very long time ago at all, we are actually down over 35% at the recent bottoms. It's been crazy. I first got involved with this company around the middle of June, so it's been about 3 months, and I have kept up to date with every step of their journey since then. In the video I made about Lordstown Motors yesterday, I spoke about investing in companies before the big news happens, when they're not very exciting, before the major catalyst comes to fruition. And that is exactly what I see with Virgin Galactic right now. So today, there's a few things I want to discuss. The biggest one is we now know when their next test flights are happening, which is really important, people. There has also been a few analyst upgrades, so seeing analysts start to become bullish on Virgin Galactic is very exciting for a couple of reasons we'll get into. We'll also speak about when I potentially plan on picking up more of this company, what price point, what I think could happen over the next few weeks, just things like that, and just some general bullish points on the company. So right before we get into the video, people, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, as it really does help me and the channel out. I would appreciate it massively. You guys have been smashing the support the last few days. If you're new around here, what are you waiting for, my friend? Hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family, people. And please do drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you stand on Virgin Galactic. If you're an investor, if you're thinking about getting involved, just let me know. With that being said, guys, into the juicy information. So right off the bat, guys, we're going to go to the yearly chart, okay? Now, Virgin Galactic actually went public via a SPAC. And in general with SPACs, they get listed at $10 a share. We can see there was a stage we were briefly in the 11s and 12s. They came all the way down to the 7s. They then went on this incredible run to $37, crashed all the way back down to the low 10s, and then we've kind of chilled out a bit. For the most part, we've been between $15 to $18 or so over the last 4 or 5 months. We did have this initial run up here. A lot of you guys will remember this. I was invested here. We were all the way up, and I believe we were approaching $26, $27. I could be wrong. And then we proceeded to come all the way back down to the high 15s. And then as of today, we're sitting at $17.71. So a few things I'd like to say off the bat in regards to this company. This, in my opinion, is essentially the definition of a speculative growth stock. I mean, this is a space exploration company. We cannot compare these guys to literally any other company's publicly traded history. They will be the first of their kind to do something like this as a publicly traded company. We have no reference points, so there is a lot of speculation involved. The other thing I want to make quite clear is that it's going to be volatile for a long time until we have full FAA approval, and in my opinion, until Sir Richard Branson goes to space, which could happen as early as the first quarter of next year. There's going to be lots, and I mean lots, of ups and downs. I mean, look at the 6-month chart, and you can see them. It's like every single week we're seeing a big move. But for current investors, like myself, we've had a tough 6 weeks or so. It has just steadily been going down lower and lower and lower, and it hasn't been fun to see. With me right now, I only have 60 shares in the company, so not a very big position, and I'm down about 5%. Let's just get it out there from the start, though. I think it's a buy now. If you don't have a position, if you believe in the company, and if you're going to be willing to hold this for a long period of time through ups and downs, most certainly yes. My price target where I wanted to buy more shares was $15, or very low $15. Am I going to be upset if I miss out? No. So in relation to price targets, let's speak about the first real piece of news. This right here, the next Virgin Galactic spaceflight test set for October 22nd. Now, if you don't know why this is such big news, essentially we need 2 more test flights to go successfully in order to get full FAA clearance, which then means they can actually go about commercializing their spaceflight. It means that Richard Branson can go to space, and it means that Virgin Galactic can potentially start making money, which is obviously very important for a business. Businesses like to make money. So October 22nd, the flight will be the first of 2 that Virgin Galactic has planned to complete testing of its Spaceship 2 spacecraft system. And one thing to note, October 22nd date marks the beginning of a flight window, so the launch may happen in the following days. It might not necessarily be October 22nd, but it could be within a few days. So this first test flight will feature just 2 pilots on board, which is fairly standard, okay? But the second test flight will have 4 mission specialists inside the cabin. And if that second test flight is successful alongside the first one, of course, That is it. Virgin Galactic expects to fly founder Sir Richard Branson in the first quarter of 2021. So, if the first test flight is successful around October 22nd, I think the days of consolidating in the $15 to $18 range are done and dusted. So for that reason, I don't think it's a bad price point as of right now. I think in the long term, in fact, it's going to be a fantastic price point. I mean, my cost basis is above this, and I've been buying since the start of June, middle of June. It is the kind of company I am happy to just dollar cost average into over the next few weeks. I may buy some shares at this price, but where I will be very, very, very happy to buy is if, and it is a big if, we hit the low $15. Now, to be honest, we bounced very strongly once we broke below 16. I mean, in a matter of 2 trading days, we're up over 11.24%. I don't necessarily believe we will hit low 15s, but if it happens, I'm going to be very happy. Also, I think that dip needs to happen within the next couple of weeks if it is going to happen. The closer that these test flights get, in my opinion, the more people are going to start buying in. We're going to see volume go up, etc, etc. We're going to see the fear of missing out kicking in, which we've seen with this company multiple times in a span of only a year. I mean, this entire period here was fear of missing out. This run up here, there was fear of missing out. And I will be very surprised if in October some stage we don't see some really big days. Now, the reason I'm saying that I think this dip has to happen in the next couple of weeks, aka before September ends, is also because of this here. So before the October 22nd space flight, Virgin Galactic said in the filing that it plans to conduct 4-hour test flights of the spacecraft's carrier aircraft White Knight 2, with those flights scheduled for October 1st and October 2nd. So all going well there. That's also going to fill people with more confidence, especially when we see such a big catalyst coming up in the last week, more or less, of October. So in my opinion, if a dip is to happen, it will be within the next 2 to absolutely max 3 weeks. And I do expect October to be a good month. Now, at the end of the day, if you want to get involved in this company and you understand it's going to be volatile, okay, there's going to be green and red days. You understand that your investment could lose or gain 15 to 20% in a matter of days quite often. But you want to be invested in this company for the long term because they're the only publicly traded company in regards to spaceflight and commercializing it. Should you care if you buy at $17.71 a share or $16 a share? In my opinion, not too much. I put a message in my private Discord group yesterday going through this concept. A lot of people focus on the pennies, and when you focus on the pennies, a lot of the time you end up missing out. I'll bring up Workhorse for example, okay? Last week I was getting messages when, let's say we were $16, $17 a share. People said, I'm going to buy more if we hit $15.50. I mean, people wanted a 3 or 4% drop before they got in, and now we're up 44% from those levels. This is something to keep in mind with pretty much any company. Any investor I've ever spoken to who has decent experience in the market has said to me they've missed out more often than not from trying to time the market, from trying to make the extra few pennies. If you believe in the company, in general, it's a good idea to buy. So now we're going to have a look at 2 separate analysts and their bullish statements in regards to Virgin Galactic. And this is really good to see because in the past there haven't really been that many Wall Street analyst bulls in regards to SPCE. So we have one here from August 31st. Bullish call from Cowen, and then a very recent one from just yesterday, Virgin Galactic up 4% after Credit Suisse points to flight catalysts. So we'll start with a slightly older one, okay, from August 31st. So a Cowen analyst, Oliver Chen, initiated coverage on the spaceflight service company at $22, which is 26% above pretty much where we still are right now. So he says they're uniquely positioned to benefit from the growing consumer interest toward luxury experiences, especially among high net worth individuals. We believe a substantial growth opportunity lies ahead with the commercial spaceflight business, which already has approximately 600 reservations. We've known this for a long time now, it could be more by now. And the development of high-speed point-to-point travel. I spoke about this in depth probably a few weeks ago. With the upper wealth bracket broadening, the market may be bigger than you think. And I think that that's something really important to understand as well. I mean, yeah, a ticket's $250,000. That's a lot of money to you or me, or to 95% of people in the world. But there are a lot of people out there who it's really not that much money, and it's a service that only one company in the entire world will provide. I mean, guys, if people are willing to spend $50,000 on an outfit, I'm speaking the richest of the rich, if people will spend $100,000 on a Rolex, they'd probably spend $250,000 to go to space. To me, I don't think the problem is going to be getting customers. I really don't. I never have thought that. Just because I can't comprehend spending that much money, there's a lot of people who can, and you can see this in their investor presentation. And then the second one here, Virgin Galactic up 4% after Credit Suisse points to flight catalysts. So they have an outperform rating and price target of $24. That's exciting to me. We now know to expect 2 more test flights, both powered, one with 2 pilots and the second with a full crew. Since these 2 flights are intended to complete the full suborbital mission, their achievement should be significant positive catalyst. And guys, I just don't think enough people are excited enough about this yet. That's why I'm making this video now, because again, the best time to invest invest in the company is before the hype kicks back up. I mean guys, if both of these test flights go to plan, that's it. I mean, Virgin Galactic, we're going up. And that could be by the end of this year potentially. It's also noted, okay, investors will not want to be on the sidelines for the eventual Richard Branson flight. I mean, that's it guys. Richard Branson goes to space. Happy days for us investors. If the CEO of a company flies to space, I mean, it's quite obvious that it's safe. If you believe in your company so much, you will literally put your life on the line to go to space and do something that people have never done commercially. It's a pretty good bet. You're confident in your capabilities of providing the service you are offering. They also have a blue sky scenario on SPCE, and I think this one's quite interesting. So our blue sky scenario assumes revenues 20% higher than our base case, driven by higher than expected ticket prices. Now I'm not sure what to think of this, but of course there's a potential. This results in full flow through to EBITDA, driving it of $381 million. We apply a 30x expected value to EBITDA multiple, a 20% premium for the comp set. This results in our blue sky valuation of $43. And I know they're not given time frames here, but I assume that these are relatively short time frames. And one thing that I see from analysts a lot of the time is a lot of them just base things off of technicals. I mean, every one of you who watches my videos has seen what hype can do in the market. I mean, I don't know how it was 10 years ago, but in today's market, hype can do more than technicals without a doubt in my mind. Look at all of the companies that were going bankrupt, people that shot up hundreds if not thousands of percent. So a lot of the time in these valuations, we don't really see that included, which, you know, is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's actually a good thing. But long story short, I think this is a very realistic price target in a relatively short period of time. But I did just want to point out both of these because it is nice from my point of view to see analysts actually becoming bullish on this company. One thing I want to speak about is revenues, because people always bring this up and I do think it's worth speaking about. So I'm on Investor Place right now. We're looking at an article that's titled "Sorry Elon, but Virgin Galactic Stock is the better space race play." I'm not going to get into that. I think SpaceX is insane. I obviously love Elon Musk, so I'm not too worried about the title, but what I do want to speak about is this: no revenues, no problem. And again, this is one of the reasons I think it's so exciting to see analysts being bullish on this company, because I think we all know in Wall Street, earnings are very important. So Virgin Galactic reported zero revenues during the second quarter of 2020, and moreover, even worse, the company posted an earnings loss of 30 cents per share. This company, okay, listen very closely, is all about the future, not the present. This company is all about the future, not the present. One more time for the people in the back. This company is all about the future, not the present. It's a growth stock. It's a speculative stock. It is what it is. It's not Coca-Cola. It's not Johnson & Johnson. It's not a safe 10% gainer with a 4% dividend. It's a company who wants to bring people to space. That's why they are fundamentally speculative in nature, and I will never try to argue that fact. Just a few refreshers, okay? As part of its One Small Step initiative, Virgin Galactic increased its number of refundable deposit payments from future passengers from 400 in the first quarter to 700 in the second quarter. Now I know that deposits, specifically refundable deposits, don't mean everything, but still it's a good sign. And keep in mind, most passengers will likely pay, these guys say $225,000, could be $250,000, it could be upwards of $250,000. It's a lot of money regardless. I mean, this isn't like me selling a t-shirt for $25. So SPCE Stock's value proposition won't be immediately obvious after scanning the company's current financial stats, and that is without a doubt. If you care that much about financials and, you know, traditional fundamentals, forget about this company. You're going to think it's the worst in the world. One thing I'd like to go through quite quickly as well is I just want to show you the volume over the last while. So we can see the last 3 days we've had 15, 20 and 20 million. Our average volume is 17.5 million. But if we go back over the last couple of weeks, I mean, we're seeing 5, 6, 9, 10 million days. Again guys, it's just been very quiet as of late. Do keep an eye on this, because I would honestly expect some absolutely insane volume spikes coming up towards the end of this month, potentially even earlier if more people start to, you know, get the same idea as I am and they want to actually get involved before these test flights start happening. I mean, we've seen 40 and 50 million days before. It would not surprise me if this month we see a 50 million volume day in Virgin Galactic. It's a really exciting company, and for the right kind of investor, I really do think it's offering a fantastic position at current price points. Just make sure you're confident in the investment you're making, because again, I cannot stress this enough, this is pretty much the definition of a speculative stock. We have next to zero comparison points. We don't have a product that's FAA approved yet. We have no revenue. All we have is pre-orders. But what we do have is a near 100% FAA approved product, quite a lot of pre-orders, and a fast growing market. I mean, our market is essentially the richest of the rich people in the world, and there is more rich people every single year. But do keep in mind, October probably will be a big month, so do your due diligence into these guys. And also keep in mind that potentially as early as the first quarter of next year, Richard Branson is going to space, which is insane to say. But that is obviously going to be pretty much the biggest catalyst that we could ever ask for. But anyway, guys, that is the video on Virgin Galactic. If you have watched this video till the end, I appreciate you so much, and you, my friend, as always, are a true legend. Thank you so much for being here. If you did enjoy, could I please ask you to just gently tap that like button if you haven't yet, drop me a comment and subscribe if you're new, because all of that really does help me out. And also, if you want to join my community of over 850 investors, hit that first link in the description, sign up to my Patreon, and you will get full access to that Discord channel. Or else you can hit the second link and you will actually join the Discord channel for free and have access to a few chats. But the Patreon members are who get the buy and sell alerts, my ticker symbols I'm watching, all of that kind of thing. We also have individual chats. We have one for Virgin Galactic. It's an extremely exciting company. I love keeping up to date with these guys. It has been a slow few weeks. It's been a little bit disheartening watching it go down and down and down. But if you're a long-term investor, the intraday moves, all in all, should not matter too much. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for tomorrow's video. Peace.